What's good? Welcome in. This is the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. My name is Chase Senior. Hope all of your weeks are off to a fantastic start. Father's Day is coming up on Sunday, and if you didn't get your pop something nice for Father's Day, you've basically already procrastinated up to this point, but you can solve that issue by getting him hooked up with Manscaped and the brand new Platinum Package. 52% off if you go to manscaped.com/49ers. Going to put that link in the comment section and the description of this video, and we'll tell you more about that coming up in a few moments. A stacked show on tap for you all today, and we start off with Trey Lance. He's doing what this upcoming week? Staying around at the facility in Santa Clara, doing the necessary things that starting quarterbacks and elite quarterbacks do in the National Football League. According to NBC Sports Bay Area, Lance is voluntarily staying another week to get some work in with some of the draft members from the 2022 Niners draft class. Jennifer Lee Chan from NBC Sports Bay Area saying this: Trey Lance is doing everything in his control to prepare for a second NFL season with San Francisco. Team sources told NBC Sports Bay Area on Sunday that the sophomore quarterback is expected to remain in Santa Clara for an additional week of work on a voluntary basis. Along with Lance, the 49ers draft class from this year will remain in the Bay Area as well for another week of work, along with several second-year players and a few veterans. Most veterans, including Deebo Samuel, will leave the facility to work with their own private trainers closer to their hometowns and or their families. So obviously this is a story where you're like, okay, cool. Trey Lance is going to stay around. He's going to get some practice in with some of the members of this draft class as well as some other guys on this roster. Does Trey Lance staying in Santa Clara mean anything? Not a lot, but a little. This is what you want to see from a young quarterback who has massive strides to make, who has a lot on his table and a lot to improve upon. The talent is certainly there, but he needs to fine-tune everything and make some dramatic improvements for a team that's ready to compete and win a Super Bowl. And Trey Lance so far has done that throughout OTAs. He's done that throughout minicamp, impressing his coaches, impressing his teammates, and now he understands that with Jimmy Garoppolo away from the facility, this is his team, and he wants to further prove to everybody else that he's ready to be the face of the franchise. And when the media was on hand throughout minicamp as well as the OTAs, he did a really good job of doing what was asked of him and making some of those aforementioned improvements to his game. Most notably, improving his accuracy and his mechanics. 50 of 67 throughout a couple of the practice sessions that the media was able to partake in and see. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, completion percentage of 74.5%. Now, I know a lot of people reached out to me and they're like, Chase, you're really breaking down these minicamp and OTA stats? Yeah, and I find it kind of funny as well, but going into this year, we understand that Trey Lance needs to fine-tune his mechanics, and he needs to improve upon his accuracy, and so far he's been able to do that. And for him, staying at the facility, this is what you want to see from a young quarterback, and this is what you see from great quarterbacks in the league. Always getting in the lab, always putting in that work, and even though Lance displayed some improvements throughout this offseason, he's not content. He wants to continue to get better because he wants to tap into his greatness. That's what the great ones do. So does it mean anything? A little bit. Does it mean a lot? No. But he is setting a good example and sending a message to the rest of the organization. So are you impressed by Trey Lance staying? Basically, the translation, do you think it means anything? I want you all to get into the comment section right now and type I for impress, DC for I don't really care. Going to go back and see what you all say because I do want to see where you're at on the subject matter. I know where we're at with subscribers on the 49ers Report, 117 people away from 60,000 subs. We've been climbing, we've been rising, we've been ascending, and I think with this video, or at least I hope with this video, we're going to be able to reach that milestone. If you want videos every single day on the San Francisco 49ers covering all of the best and latest news, rumors, breaking news, then just hit that red subscribe button down below and join the faithful family of the largest 49ers YouTube channel out there on the internet. From the future quarterback in Trey Lance to maybe the future former quarterback of the 49ers in Jimmy Garoppolo. Will he get cut? Dan Graziano, ESPN, speaking with a bunch of NFL executives who do believe that Garoppolo is going to get released prior to the season. So basically the tidbits from this article, Graziano spoke with several NFL executives about the future of not just Jimmy Garoppolo, but one of the other quarterbacks whose future is also undetermined in Baker Mayfield. A majority of the execs predicted releases for not just Jimmy G, but also Baker Mayfield. And if you were to say that months ago, people would have said, you're crazy right after the 2021 season concluded. Execs did predict that if Garoppolo does go to another team, if he does get traded, he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Very interesting. And around the corner, take a look at some Week 1 odds for Garoppolo's next team. But Graziano on Jimmy G as well as Baker also proposed this, and this is what we started to cover last week. And I think it's fascinating because if a Jimmy G for Baker Mayfield trade were to be completed, it would actually save the 49ers about $7 million on their salary cap. Graziano circling around to what we said last week. He probably just watches the 49ers report. Why not trade them for each other? San Francisco saves some money. Cleveland gets a better backup option than Jacoby Brissett. And Baker gets to work with Kyle Shanahan for a year and be next year's Mitchell Trubisky. The Trubisky point is interesting, but I also said that last week as well, that for Baker, he needs to go through this therapeutic process after a dismal ending to his Browns tenure. What better way to do that than go through a year of therapy with Kyle Shanahan? I think it would work out well for the former number 1 overall pick. And if Trey Lance weren't to work out, do you pivot to Baker Mayfield if he impresses this coaching staff? We're looking well ahead, but something that is interesting to talk about. As for the Week 1 team odds for Garoppolo from the odds makers, I thought this was a pretty interesting list. The Houston Texans, they're moving forward with Davis Mills. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but they remain number 1 with the Jimmy G odds for the next team for him to start the 2022 season with. Detroit Lions at plus 300. Carolina Panthers also right there, tied with Detroit, followed by the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. For the Bears, they're moving forward with Justin Fields, but I think Jimmy Garoppolo there would certainly be a backup. So those are the odds from the odds makers. I want you to get your predictions in. Look into your crystal ball and predict where Garoppolo will play in Week 1. Give me a team name down below, and if you want to explain your reasoning for it, you can do that as well. Just want to hear from all of you in the comment section right now. As I said off the top, Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. I already got my pops covered. My sister and I combined for a really nice gift for him, a gift card to his favorite restaurant, but I already got him some of the most elite men's grooming products from Manscaped. So I already covered my bases there, and the all-new Platinum package is available for your dad for Father's Day right now. 52% off as well if you go to manscaped.com/49ers. We're talking about everything here. Shampoo and conditioner, body wash, a nose trimmer, the lawnmower 4.0, ball deodorant, and the travel case as well. You can get all of this for a really good deal, and we're talking about some elite products here that are going to last a really long time, be durable, and all of the side products as well, like the deodorant as well as the boxer briefs, which I'm actually wearing right now. I'll show you. There you go. Yeah, for the ladies, I gotcha. I'm going to put that link in the comment section and the description. Your dad will absolutely love this, and make sure that you make him happy. He'll be happy with this Platinum package available right now to help out his package, and your mom will like that. Put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. Lastly, let's get to the latest on Deebo Samuel. According to Ian Rapoport, the 49ers have told him in the lead up to hopefully getting a contract done that Deebo Samuel is not going to play running back this upcoming season. And I think what the 49ers have done in the draft is evidence of their planning moving forward to conserve Deebo Samuel. I'll share some more thoughts on that in just a few moments. But first, this from Rap Sheet on the Pat McAfee Show. What the 49ers, I think, have done is try to say to him, we are not going to use you as a running back. They drafted a running back in the 3rd round this past year in Ty Davis-Price, last year in Trey Sermon. They have a couple of good players, running backs coming back from last year. I think they'd like to use them on the gadget plays, but not give it to them between the tackles 15 times a game. That is something that actually speaks maybe louder than a new contract. As for Deebo and what he wants to get paid, he wants to get paid like a wide receiver. This contract is great, but he doesn't want it to be his only contract. I mean, we see what happens with running backs. They get beat up. It's actually really forward-thinking and smart. It really is. And I think that was a part of Deebo Samuel's thinking, just projecting into the future. But as far as the 49ers thinking going into the future, When it comes down to Deebo Samuel, him wanting a contract, and the 49ers planning for the future, I think the 49ers draft selections, the past two NFL drafts, have revealed their plans as to what they want to do with Deebo Samuel and how they envision using him moving forward, more as a wide receiver, like he wants to get paid as such, and less as a running back. You think about what they've done the last two NFL drafts, selecting 3 running backs. This past year, Ty Davis-Price out of LSU. Back 2 years ago, it was Trey Sermon in the 3rd round. Later on, it was Elijah Mitchell. And I think what Kyle Shanahan wants, he wants that bell cow physical back who he can rely on, but also a revolving door at the running back position to keep the legs fresh for all of his backs. And in doing that, don't hand it off to Deebo Samuel 15 times per game. Still utilize him to his advantage where he can be a game breaker like he was last year, and occasionally utilize him on a gadget play, but not give it to him 7 to 15 times per game as a running back, because he is a special talent and playmaker at that wide receiver spot, and you want to conserve him for as long as possible, especially if you pay him $25 to $30 million. You want him to be on this team for the long haul. And when you shift over to Deebo Samuel's perspective, there isn't much longevity when you play the running back position. The NFL stands for not for long, especially at that spot. And as far as the money goes, running backs don't get paid like wide receivers because of the lack of longevity at that position. So Deebo Samuel wants to be paid like a wide receiver, and to get paid like a wide receiver, he has to play more wide out and less running back, and he also wants to save his body because you think about how he plays with a lot of physicality, putting his hat down, not afraid to back away from contact. And if he can do that less as a running back and more as a wide receiver and take less of those big hits from opposing defensive players, then Deebo Samuel will get paid more and he'll be able to stay around longer at the NFL level and maybe get another contract after this one. If you want to show some support to Deebo Samuel, type 19 in the comment section, especially if you're pumped to have him back. And also, look, we're entering the middle portion of June. When we get into this part of the month, as well as July, in the lead up to training camp, sometimes things can get a little bit slow. And we like to search for content in creative ways. And last year around this time, I asked for all of you to send me your Niners Man Cave pictures so that we could feature them on the show every single Monday for our Man Cave Monday segment. And I want to do that and bring it back right here on the 49ers Report. Last year, we had so many photos sent in from so many people, literally all across the globe, and it was awesome to see your 49ers man caves, so we're bringing it back. Send me all of your Niners man cave pictures on my Instagram. You can DM me or story it and tag me, or at me on Twitter at Chase_Senior. If you DM me on Twitter, I can't guarantee I'm going to see it all. If you at me on Twitter, I guarantee you I will see it. Just much easier to see it that way. Either way, it's the same handle on both Twitter and IG at Chase_Senior. Can't wait to see all of your 49ers Man Cave photos.